songs.
Oh, where you at?
How come we don't have a version of Surge rapping? I'm very disappointed in you.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Quad City sports fans of all ages. Town Square Media and ESPN 93.5 is proud to present to you the best Quad City sports talk radio show in the world. With the face who runs the place, T-Roy. The OG on the marquee, J-Bird. And the cat who runs a chat with the stat man, Surge. And don't forget the Marv Tender. We are Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. We're not a Quad City Sports Podcast. We're not the Quad City Sports Podcast. We are your sports talk radio. I did the podcast.
Well, technically, right now, we're just a podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
We is what we is when we can be what we can be.
Welcome to the conversation, Quad Cities. But first, the dawn.
They cry, sleep for dead.
Well, we finally made it. We are on the Facebook Live.
We are. We're here. And I'll tell you what, we're in a great spot.
Tell us where we're at.
Will you tell us where we're at?
We're at
Because
the
I'm going to
Hyatt.
mess it up.
We're at the Bend.
All right. Yeah. I didn't want to mess it up.
Yeah.
River Room.
The River Room.
I was just going to say we're at the Murphys.
We're at the Bend. Yeah, the Hyatt Place, also known as the Bend, here in East Moline, looking right above the
Mighty
Mississippi.
Mississippi. Hopefully you can see. Well, you can't really see it. There's too much of a glare, everyone. Sorry. But, yeah, the beautiful flooding Mississippi River. But it's a striking view either way.
And the Mississippi has
Look at a big old log going down the road. Big old log, Jay, floating.
I'm not falling for it.
There is.
the Mississippi, the mighty Mississippi, has shut down the home opener for our friend Jacqueline in her first.
I know.
The
What
new
they trying
GM.
to do, mess with Jacqueline like that.
It's not really the river, to be honest with you. It's a railroad.
Yeah. I saw a video of the train going through the flooding
Yeah.
area. It is pretty impressive.
But they don't want to. They don't want to have it. So anyway, they're moving to Burlington. That's very nice of the people of Burlington to allow the ticket holders to go there. So
Did you know that Burlington was the first capital of Iowa?
no,
True.
Fun facts with T-Roy.
And then it was Iowa City, and then it was Des Moines.
Des Moines is Iowa's third choice.
Yes, sir.
God, that's even more embarrassing for Des Moines.
I know.
Is that true?
It's true.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Sorry.
Yesterday we got to go over to Rock Island.
Yeah, you and Serge had a lot of fun.
Not the first capital of Illinois. And we went over there, and we were at Augustana for the announcement for the NFL draft. That's going to be April 27th. And so it was good to go over there, listen to what they have to say. We had the mayor got to talk over there. John Grip, the director of Parks and Recreation, was there. So basically, there's all kind of things going on. This is all about the NFL 100th Centennial celebration. As we know, the Rock Island Independence, the very first ever game was played at Douglas Park in Rock Island. And there's going to be a recreation of a game that took place in September of 1920, and it will be the Rock Island Independence versus the St. Paul Ideals.
Who do you like in that game?
I like the Rock Island Independence actually win that game a lot. They're going to have historical uniforms and game rules. So
Like leather helmets.
I think you're going to have to talk a little bit closer than that.
Leather helmets.
Yeah, leather helmets. I don't know. I'm sure there's not forward passes or anything like that.
Why not?
We got to look up the rules from 1920, to be honest with you. I don't know them. It's right now. It's hard enough for the NFL to figure out their own rules in 2019. I highly doubt that we know what it was like in 1920. So their doors are gonna open up at 12 noon there, and then they're going to have a youth football clinic. First off, it's gonna open up at noon. There's gonna be a family fun zone with bounce houses, carnival games, goodie bags for the first 150 children, and then at 12:30 there's gonna be a youth football skills clinic for girls and boys grades 1 through 6. It's gonna be hosted by Rock Island High School, the Allman High School, and Augustana Football College. It's going to be a DJ spinning some tunes.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Is it Bobby Mack?
No, they didn't say who it was.
I hear he's the only DJ in the Quad Cities that matters.
Yeah. There's going to be
The rest of them are wiggity wiggity whack.
there's going to be pep bands from Rock Island and Almond there, and cheerleaders, and the Metropolitan Youth Program will be entertaining the crowd. Food and beverage concessions will be available for purchase from Augustana and Bent River Brewing Company.
And this is all on the 27th, Jay?
All on the 27th, my friend.
Lobo says there are forward passes in those games.
Well, Lobo with the 1920 rules
I'll tell you
expert.
what, that is going to be the second coolest thing happening that weekend, Jay.
Yeah,
Because you know what the first coolest thing happening that weekend is, don't you?
I do.
You do?
Yes, I do not.
I don't know. Do you?
There is something going on.
Something huge.
What is it?
Avengers Endgame, baby.
Oh, jeez. I thought there was something else. Yeah.
What do you mean?
No, let me ask you a question about that. Is that movie premiering on Wednesday night, the
Thursday
25th?
night.
Thursday.
So we're gonna have a draft kickoff party on Thursday night. Probably partner with WHBF. We're thinking about going to Kavanaugh's Hilltop, and then from there we're gonna go to the movie.
Well, some of us are.
What do you mean?
Well, older people that are on part
I'm
of
talking
this.
about us as a group. So we're going to because the draft isn't. I mean, the movies we're going like the 10:30 movie, right?
Yeah.
So the draft will be the first day. Will be done
I'll
by
be
then.
drinking like coffee.
Yeah, mainlining Red Bull to stay awake because those
Or
chairs,
something. I don't want to fall asleep.
those chairs will. So
Last time
anyway,
I fell asleep. I found Serge's hands in my pants.
it's good to have everybody. It's good to be back
I
on.
was looking for change.
Oh,
So Hasslers, we appreciate you staying with us here as we're on this 3-day break.
yeah. This sucks, everybody. We understand. You know,
It happens.
this is where our roots are, though, and it sucks we can't be on terrestrial radio in the studio. But if
we
we're gonna
thank
be-
Tyler. We thank Jen
Yeah, I was
for
saying, if
inviting
we're
us
gonna be
here.
Anywhere, this is the best place we
to
can
be honest with you, everybody out there that invited us to a place,
Yeah,
and I
we
need
did
to,
get
I need
invited by a
to,
lot
I
of
need to
people.
answer back
Yep.
to those people and thank them for their time, and that when we do have the time to get out and do things, because when it hits, when we run into scheduling programs with the Cubs, we might as well go to a live place.
When, like I said, we'll
I'm
bounce
not leaving
around.
here.
Yeah, it is nice here.
I get it. No, but we will bounce around to different places. But like I said, thanks to Jen and Tyler for this is great. I mean, this is exactly where you'd want to be somewhere new in the Quad Cities to show it off. So
Yeah.
and
And we
just
got to
can't
see
get over the view.
Well, and from up here on the 9th floor, you get to see. You get a bird's eye view of like everything they're doing here
Yeah.
at Murphy Park and everything else, where the bands are going to go, and they're going to build thing out there to where you can have your wedding reception. You can even have your wedding outside here, right on the river. Get out!
I'm telling you,
Can't beat it. Kind of like a sore Peter. Can't beat it.
Can we say that?
Yeah,
All
we're
right,
on
say
Facebook right now. We're all good. Anyway, things we let's see, things we want to talk about. T-Roy, what do you got on the list for us?
On the list today, everybody, we're going to be covering the Cubs off to the beautiful 1-4 start.
Oh my gosh, you guys are freaking out.
I'm fine. And
No,
we're gonna-
good. I'm very very glad to hear a Cub
we don't
fan
want to talk
say
about it
they
right
were
now.
fine.
We're not talking about it right now. So we're gonna. Can I keep talking?
Oh,
Okay, I got an agenda.
hey, drink your juice.
You do what you're doing.
Drink your juice.
You do what you're doing. I don't have juice.
I'm
You have
good.
juice. We're going to cover the AAF.
We're gonna
and
talk about the AAF.
debacle or debacle, whatever you want to say.
Yeah,
We're going to talk bat flips, Jay, because that's your
Love
favorite conversation.
Love the bat
We're
flip.
going to talk about umpires, and they can do anything they want.
He sure thinks he can.
Fran to Arkansas, is that true?
We're going to talk to Tom Caker.
And if we have time, we might do a little buying and selling the MLB after week 1, and maybe guess the NFL team over under.
Yeah, so
if
if
we
we
have
don't get to
time.
it, don't
Yep.
go home tonight and cheat about guess the over-unders.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking at you, not like, yeah. I mean,
What do you mean?
I mean,
Over under wins?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to destroy this.
Okay.
No need to cheat. Serge, where's that juice at? No, he won't talk to me. I love it when you.
I'm sorry. I was doing my job.
Serge, do me a quick favor and read one quick promo for us, and then while we do that, Jen, why don't you come in while we're reading
Yeah,
a promo?
Jen.
Come on in here.
You're live on the air. You can have my spot. I'm going to go.
Usually we
get
go to a
water.
commercial here, and then it goes to mute, and no one gets to hear what we say in between promo. Sorry, I shouldn't be talking.
See, look at us getting along.
Look at us, yeah.
Hey, Quad Cities, stop going to your favorite social media sites asking for suggestions of where to get your oil change, who does the best tattoo work, or the best place for lunch in the Quad Cities. Pick up your Locals Love Us guide. They have an easy-to-navigate table of contents to help you find whatever you're looking for. Or go to their website at localsloveus.com, click on Quad Cities, and then browse the favorites. It's so easy to use, they even rank the most popular places for you. While you're on their website, don't forget to vote for our show, Don't Hassle Us, We're Local, and all of our sponsors. Locals Love Us, your guide to the best.
Jen? Get closer to the microphone here for me.
Fine.
Hi, Jen. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everyone. What's going on?
This is Jen Peterson Murphy.
That is me.
Yeah,
I feel like you guys have heard my name a lot lately.
that's right. So are we gonna work on a promo right now while we're here?
Sure, why not?
Okay. What did you say you wanted to move some things around on the promo?
Well, it's a little too wordy for some folks around here.
I thought it was fine.
I know it gets to be a lot, but basically I just want to talk a little bit about how, it's the season. You know? We've got a lot of buyers out there and not a whole lot of listings to choose from, so if you ever considered selling and just weren't sure if it was the time, it is the time. We need a lot more inventory to get things moving around here. There's a lot going on. It's a really good time. Rates are great. If you have any questions, feel free to find me on any social media. I follow you guys. It's an easy way to find me.
We'll share all that. Now, what's with the gold jacket? Do you get that for being a real estate?
Jacket? No.
Do you get that for being the real estate agent?
No, I get these on sale in the fall.
Wasn't there a real estate place that used to have the yellow jacket?
It was Keller Williams, wasn't it?
I don't think so. I can't
No?
remember.
Oh, Century 21.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Keller Williams is maroon.
Okay. So you guys don't have a certain color that you have to do?
I mean, the Remax colors. are
You're in a
red
Remax?
and blue, but
All independently owned, certified here in Illinois,
individually owned and operated.
individually owned and operated. No, it's wonderful up here, Jen.
Yeah, isn't it beautiful?
Thanks for reaching out to us and inviting us up here.
Yeah, absolutely. We host all kinds of stuff if anybody's interested in anything private too.
Let's jump into some sports here.
Sure.
What's with the so you're a Texas Rangers fan?
I am.
How'd that happen?
I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Oh, well, that's a good start. Yeah. So does that make you a Cowboys fan too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you for the shout out for the ballpark in Arlington. It is our last year. I'm
It is.
excited somebody else wants to go there.
I did want to. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So you got. Do they have another game tonight?
Yeah, they play maybe the Angels, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I have it on here. List them here. I think I was too busy staring at the former.
Angels or Astros.
I was too busy staring
Who
at
won last
former
night?
U Darvish's 10.13 ERA.
You know
So-
what's funny? You know it has.
You got the
so
Angels, yeah.
The walk-up song. You know everybody picks their own. Well,
Yeah.
He didn't speak English when he played for the Rangers, or didn't understand, I guess. So they picked for him, and his song it was that Superman song.
Yeah.
Every time he walked up, it was like you.
Yeah. It still was last year.
Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it still?
Yeah. Like, in fact, when we were talking about walk-up songs last week, they mentioned that, and I was like, why would he have that? And I was like, duh, I've played that numerous times for him when he's been an answer for a trivia question before, so I felt a little bit dumb. But that is actually true and really funny. Did you hear about the one guy that had the Baby Shark song?
Oh. God.
Yeah,
Elvis Andrews?
Yes, yep.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. And I don't think they've announced the Cubs walk-up song
You
yet.
heard that one, Marvin?
I have not.
It's like a little kid song, and there's like 20 different versions with different words about like kids and like shark families. and
Sharks?
It's like
I
Baby
started
Shark.
signing my
doo-doo-doo-doo.
emails like
Oh,
that and
yeah,
just get
yeah,
hate
yeah.
mail back.
It will get stuck in your head. It's like got like 2 lines or
I've
one
heard.
line over.
I must have heard one of the versions.
Yeah.
But I don't. Yeah, I've
It's
heard
not
about
made
2
it to the
seconds of it.
jukeboxes yet at touch tunes, so but
For at
once it
least-
does.
For at least one whole season, Mike Napoli's was, man, I feel like a woman because he lost a bet.
Those are I like those stories like that.
Yeah.
Like you have something. It was Josh Willingham always had "You're Loved" by the outfield, and everyone's like, "Why?" He's like, "I just like the song."
Yeah.
You know, so it's
Whatever
like
does it
everyone,
for
you
ya.
know, everyone knows it just starts that high pitched thing right at the beginning. Everyone knew it was him coming up. So
I must have missed it, but did you guys say what yours would be when you guys were talking about
Yep.
it last time?
Yep.
What are they?
Mine was the Top Gun main anthem, the instrumental guitar only.
I forget mine all the time. I think mine's "Hanging Tough" by New Kids on the Block.
Not
That
mad
was
about
one.
That.
That was one of yours.
Yeah.
Not mad about
Yeah.
that.
Marvin, did you have one?
I never had one. I don't even know what mine would be.
You gotta have I think you gotta have one that's like a crowd participation too. That's why I like we talked about McCaffrey. He did the Friends one. Crowd participation's good. Well,
Depends. if
crowd
you're at-
participation's better if you're at a strip club than
is
walk up song.
true.
Yeah,
Maybe mine should be, man, I feel like a woman.
that's a good one. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. So, so the Rangers, it's their last year. Where are they moving to? I don't actually. I just wanted to go because it's their last year.
It's closer to Dallas. I don't know exactly where. I haven't been home long enough to pay attention, but I don't know. I'm kind of sad. I was there the first opening day at the ballpark, and my parents were awesome and let me skip school every year to go to a game on opening day. So the fact that the Cubs played the Rangers this year and I was working at pub was kind of sad for me.
And you got
That was
two.
a fun day, though.
And then you took 2 out of 3 from the Cubs, except for opening day and everything. But that's all right.
Jim, we got a question for you out there in the Vans Pizza Pub and Grill Facebook comment thread. Matt Erickson wants to know how hot or cold are the $150,000 to $300,000 markets right now, or the $500,000 to $800,000.
It depends on where you are. Matt's from Iowa, right? There's a lot of new building in Iowa right now, so you're going to get some of that higher price point. And then there's also a lot of people flipping this stuff in the meantime. So I would say probably the best range you want to be in is 180 to 230. It just depends.
Okay.
On which area you're in. We're really lacking some stuff in Moline at that price point. So if that's where you are right now, what you think you can get for your house, or if there's anybody who is interested, I can always come out and do a CMA for you guys. Let you know what your house is worth, what you can get for it, what's the best thing to do to get
What's a
your money out of it.
CMA?
Comparative market analysis.
Okay.
Yeah, come on.
Well,
Search
For
says it
those who don't
27
know out
times a
there,
day.
I mean, I know, but for other people, I was asking for them, not for me. So.
Yeah, just check everything out. Let you know where to put your money if there's some you got to put into it.
And you
What's
said
the
you
waste
guys
of time?
need inventory.
We do. We need listings.
You need listings.
Got lots of buyers, less listings, which is a good thing for the economy, apparently.
Yeah. So, so you like it though?
Yeah.
Cool.
So far, so good.
Dealing with people and
Yeah, it's fun. It's something different every day. I'm sure you guys kind of feel like that too, especially in the hospitality industry and everything. I think some people are just more suited for that. I would be bored out of my
do you
mind
lay
if
out
I
the
didn't
nice
feel
spread
like
at those open houses?
Yeah.
You go all out?
It depends.
It depends, huh?
Only if Mara's gonna be there.
it depends.
But no, we're always there. I mean, we do tons every weekend.
Yeah.
All the information you need, basic loan options, things like that from our lender. We work with IH a lot. We usually have all the information you need for that. It's a great way to go look early,
Mm-hmm.
see what you can get for your money so you're not blindsided when you try to actually go out and get something.
Well, perfect. All right. Well, Jen, thanks for coming on. Thanks for the
Absolutely.
invite, and
Thanks for coming.
thanks
for having me.
thanks for the promo and being a sponsor and everything else. And yeah, we get through it. We're all right. I like your promo. It's not too wordy.
No?
You're fine. No, he just
struggled with it.
he just struggles with it. That's all. We'll be all
I
right.
think it's the Yankees hat.
Yeah,
I'm
maybe.
sure Front Street has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, there you go. Well, speaking of Front Street,
Speaking of Front Street Brewery is the oldest brew pub in the state of Iowa. It's nestled beautifully along the bank of the mighty Mississippi. It's served the fine community of Davenport, Iowa since 1992. With awesome beers such as the Davenport Gold, a satisfying American ale, pale straw in color with a sweet corn-like aroma and a crisp, clean finish. Smooth, balanced, and refreshing. The Wise Guides, their take on the instantly recognizable German wheat beer that staked its claim on palates around the world. Brewed with noble German yeast, this refreshingly sweet and smooth brew features a citrusy tart aroma with significant notes of banana and clove. Or the Raging River, an English-inspired American Indian pale ale with incredible balance featuring an earthy, slightly fruity hop aroma with moderately bready malt notes. Check out their Facebook page for food and drink specials. Also visit their webpage at www.frontstreetbrew.com. Calling all bars and restaurants, call your local distributor. Get Front Street on your tap lines or in your cooler now. Go to the restaurant at 208 East River Drive or the tap room at the Freight House Complex. Once again, that's www.frontstreetbrew.com.
okay.
All right, Jay.
What?
Welcome back, buddy.
Hi.
Off to a scorching 1-4 start.
Yeah, the Cubs.
The other night, 6 errors.
Uh-huh. That helped.
Last night, blew another game.
Yeah, bullpen.
So the bullpen issues.
Bullpen's given up 2 losses, I'd say, right? Errors gave up the third.
Yes, there you go.
And then you just got beat the other game. I mean, you get beat. It happens.
So what you're trying to say is they could easily be
4-1. I mean, I don't know why. I don't think the Red Sox has started that hot either, right? Is anybody scared about the Red Sox?
Well, the thing is we don't live in Boston.
That's true.
So, I mean,
I know,
I'm
I'm
sure
just
they
throwing
are.
examples.
But I did
I don't
tell
know.
you that the Red Sox gave up the most runs by a defending World Series team. Well, Theo's not too worried. John Lesser's not too worried.
Of course, Madden's not. He's going to say that. I think Madden likes pot. I think he sits around and gets high.
The,
'cause he's
the
always
thing I
so,
would be
like-
worried about is the 6 errors and the errors that follow the next game as well, because that's not like Madden's teams.
Right. Could just be an anomaly.
Let's see. Theo said the average fan of every major league team is worried about the bullpen. We've had one of the best bullpens in baseballs for the last 4 years, and there's probably been a grand total of 3 days that people haven't been worried about the bullpen. That's just the way it works. Lester basically says that they're just pressing. Everyone is trying to come in, whether it be a hitting situation or pitching situation, and be the guy. That's hard to do over 162 games. We put such an emphasis on getting off to a good start. I think it's hanging over our heads a little bit. The thing is, they just don't. The National League is pretty competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it right now, just the standings alone, I mean, the Mets
They
are.
started out against the Rangers, so that doesn't even matter.
Well, it does matter still, your overall
I know.
record. I mean, they're in last place of the Central right now. They're 4 games back. I don't care if it's 7 games or 5 games they played. They're 4 games back.
Well, there's only 157 games left, so
For some teams.
hopefully it's not panic time.
Boston's 3 back.
Where's my
Yankees are
button
2.5
when I
back.
need it?
The panic button.
I'm not panicked. I don't know
No.
why anybody would be after 5 games.
I understand it's showing a little, like, some signs of
I mean,
frustration.
granted, if you're worried, if you are one of the people that thinks the bullpen was the biggest issue, which it is, yeah, you don't like what you're seeing so far, but the season isn't over by a long shot.
No, not even
I
close.
mean,
but-
you're not done.
And,
It's,
like, I understand some of the people saying, okay, we need to address this bullpen issue. Sure. Okay, you need to make some adjustments now. We're being exposed on our biggest weakness in the first week. It's a little much. Let them settle in.
yeah, let's get through the first month of the season, see where we're at, and then I'll overreact or underreact.
How are your Yankees?
I don't know.
They're
They got a
2.5
great looking
back.
hat on me. They look good.
Like CC
You guys can ask at any time how the Twins are doing. Anytime, you guys feel free to ask.
El Tortuga?
Oh, he's the best. That fat turtle. I love him so much.
You shouldn't body shame turtles, Jay.
He's batting almost 800.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, did his average drop?
Yeah.
What was it, 853 when we got just
Yeah, it was
857.
83.
857.
He
He went 3 for 4
He went
yesterday.
3 for 4. Really hurt his average.
Average dropped.
He's been his last 82 games, including last year, he's hitting 400. That
Yeah.
fat turtle.
Yeah.
Seattle 7-1. The Rays 5-2 in the East. The Mets 5-1. And Milwaukee 6-1. Dodgers 5-2.
The Mets are 5-1,
Mets are 5-1. Yeah.
and I'm gonna watch Clemson Carl complain on Twitter. He's the worst, by the way. He is a crybaby biatch.
Don't
on
say
Twitter.
that about Clemson. Carl.
Yes,
He's the one that tweeted out the beautiful
That
bat
was-
flip that we're going to talk about.
I don't care. He bitches like any other.
What does he complain about?
He's complaining about the Mets. They're 4-1 or 5-1.
What did he say?
Complain because they gave up 4 runs to the Marlins.
What?
Exactly. Knock it off.
Well, the Marlins are supposed to be bad.
He's a typical Giants fan. He's an NFC East Giants fan. The big fat turd.
You had the bumpers back in?
They're 2-5. Yeah.
So you can give up 4 runs to anybody. You can complain about it.
I was talking yesterday about how much I love Wednesday baseball, but Thursday today already it's given us some businessmen specials here. Royals at Detroit. Washington at Mets
Sounds like a
today.
crafty to me, Jay.
Seattle and the White Sox. We can go watch that after this.
All right.
Yankees at Baltimore at 3. And then the Cubs don't play till 7 o'clock tonight or 6 o'clock tonight.
All these awesome plugins on these tables.
Yes. They got
Jay, you want to explain once again to
Sure.
people what they do when they walk into a bar and the Cubs are not on the TVs?
Oh.
You ask the bartender if it might be on 8.3.
You just say, "Hey, can you do me a favor and check your antenna and see if it's on 8.3?"
What's your input?
Yeah, just go to your input. Go to the
Don't
antenna.
freak out your bartenders. They really, they're really trying to just serve drinks. That's what they're there for. They'll change the TV for you if you ask.
Maybe.
So last night,
They were blacked out on ESPN last night because they were on
8.3.
Right.
last night, Houston Astros manager AJ Hinch and their hitting coach Alex Cintrone both rejected in the top of the second inning after consecutive pitches for arguing balls and strikes. The problem is that everyone's upset about is you can clearly see the umpire saying, "I can do whatever I want. I can do anything I want." They're arguing. The very first one was very low, and it got the hitting coach tossed. So much that it was low in a way that the entire bench got up and was on the railing yelling. The umpire Culpa afterwards, after he kicked out Cintron, who was chirping after the pitch that went away, he kept staring at the dugout. The umpire did, Culpa.
Yeah.
And then Cintron kept chirping. They tossed him. Next pitch, Hinch goes out there again because he doesn't think he handled it right. And the umpire ejected him. Came out of the dugout. Hinch had to be pulled away. But that's what the umpire just kept saying. I can do anything I want. My question is, the umpire can do anything he wants. So what's the big deal?
You're not supposed to understand. I don't know. I didn't see it. I didn't see the pitches.
It's basically you and me talking to each other, but we're yelling at each other, and the umpire saying, "I can do anything I want. I can do anything I want" twice. What's the big deal? Why does Twitter?
Well, Easer said he was looking at the dugout after every pitch.
He was, and that's
it's because something was coming from the dugout after every pitch.
And the thing is,
had to been.
If you read Deadspin paints him up to be a dickhead. But the thing is,
he probably is.
That's what they wrote on Deadspin. You should. I mean, you don't. It all depends.
But there was chirping coming out of that dugout.
Yes. It was a low and away pitch that they thought was, and they all started chirping at him, and he told him to be quiet, and the hitting coach wouldn't stop, and he kept staring at the dugout. He wouldn't stop. He wouldn't stop. He wouldn't stop.
I did umpire
until he
once.
tossed him, and the next pitch, same thing.
Of course.
Then later on in the game, Garrett Cole got in trouble and got in an argument also. This is where this is something I do agree with Garrett Cole, and the umpires were not right. He was not speeding up the pace of play, and they got on his butt about it, and he started yelling back at the umpire. The umpire said he took his time getting out of the dugout. He knows he's supposed to get out, but what he was doing was he was waiting for his catcher to walk out with him. Who's he supposed to pitch to for his warm-up pitches?
Well, back when we were kids,
Yeah.
If your catcher had been on base or at bat, there was always another guy ready to go out and help you warm up.
Yeah.
While your catcher got his gear on. I mean, I imagine they can do that in the Major League Baseball too. If we could do it when we were kids. No.
The bullpen catcher'd have to do that. I mean, the guy's going to be humming 90 miles an hour.
Okay, you're just catching a ball, dude.
The thing is this: he's waiting for the catcher. It's not like he purposely. They told him to hurry up.
A little loose. That's all he's doing. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Send someone out with a pud. Go catch.
I just think it's also too early to just start getting on umpires or whatever else. He can do anything he wants out there. And no, he shouldn't be staring at the dugout, but...
I mean, there is the critique of umpires that they try to make the game too much about them. I get it, but...
Joe West.
Exactly.
But, I mean, we've been through...
I mean, you have... They had to have been chirping pretty bad from that. And maybe he's looking to see who's chirping. I don't know.
I guess he's
the right guy, but either way.
So...
Speaking about baseball, though, Jay, and things that get you in trouble.
Oh, boy. Let's talk about the greatest bat flip that's happened since Joey Bats.
Since Joey Bat?
Yeah, in the ALDS.
I would say yes. And I'll tell you what, as bat flips go, it was majestic. It was a different style than I've ever seen. It was
snapped it down.
More of a...
So let's paint the picture. Bryce
Like
Harper.
a ribbon floor routine.
Yeah,
Bryce Harper returns back to Washington Nationals for his first time since signing a 13-year, $330 million contract with the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, the other thing is, you look back at the two offers that the Nationals made. They weren't at the same pay scale. One wanted to pay him years later, the second one, and I think they even lowballed him. So
Bobby Bonilla.
So the fans booed him. They cheered when he struck out twice.
That's well within the rights.
Their
story's gone.
Twitter was trolling him. Their Twitter
Okay.
was struck out. You'll home smell you later.
That might not.
Thank you next.
Yo, home smell you later.
That's a good one.
That's probably
Thank
my
you
favorite.
next is a good one too. But so then his third time up, he hits a bomb, takes a couple steps, and then just flips the bat in the most beautiful way ever. I mean,
I
that
didn't
thing
have a problem with
rotated
that.
about 6,000 times.
I don't have a problem with the fans booing him. I don't have a problem with them cheering when he struck out. The Twitter stuff probably by the team is a little much, but fans are going to react the way they're going to react. I mean, if
There's no reason to take your jersey of Harper and put duct tape over it and write traitor. He's not from Washington D.C. originally.
get
He's
it,
not
Jay,
born and
but
raised. He
fans
doesn't
are gonna-
owe them. He doesn't
Right.
owe them a hometown
Fan
discount.
is short for fanatic. They're going to do shit like that. It happens. I get it. The fans, I get it.
You're gonna see how much you can get away with it, aren't
Yes,
you?
I am.
Okay.
We can cuss now. He's okay.
Hey, can
All
we?
right.
There's someone might be listening with their kids in the car later
All
on
right.
or whatever else. Anyway.
When you have the team putting out memes and whatever else, that's a whole different story. Okay.
Okay.
You're not a fanatic. You're part of the team. You're part of the team that tried to keep this player. And granted, you didn't give him the right offer, so he went somewhere else.
Right.
I get it, but that a
that was
fan
a-
is different than the team.
That was also a bomb too.
I don't have a problem with this bat flip. I don't have a problem with the fans booing or doing whatever.
I don't have a problem with any of it.
The team part maybe a little classless. But at the end of the day,
You talk about the Archer move that he did?
What's that?
did he do it with Apollo?
Yeah. When he got back to the dugout, you didn't see that part?
No.
Oh, him and his teammate when they got to the dugout, like matching back at each other. What's your little hashtag?
Take aim.
Take
Yeah,
aim.
he took aim.
We're gonna be taking aim on that.
Did he
in a little
do?
bit.
So they have a choreographed thing, him and his teammate, or
Yeah. Like we should do it.
that's okay to have a choreographed thing.
I was kind of jealous.
My question to you is this: should the Nationals have plunked him?
Yes.
What did I put down? I put down no on this vote, but I could see it going the other way. What did it end up being the vote?
Actually, on Twitter,
70-30 last I saw.
it ended up being 51-49,
What?
39 votes on Twitter. I don't know Facebook. I haven't seen the results on Facebook that they should not plunk him.
Okay, I was on the not
Why not?
because I didn't think it was that big of a deal. They know
See,
why.
I'm not
They
saying-
know why he flipped the
But
bat.
I said don't throw it in his ear hole, but just hit him.
If they throw a curveball, it hits him in the butt.
Right.
I got it.
Yeah. Like, didn't you say they were bringing up some minor leaguers?
I thought I heard that they were going to bring up a couple minor league guys, and I don't know if that's someone just recklessly speculating, and I bit, but
You got to imagine that majority of the guys that are on that team still like Bryce. Don't you think?
I don't know what's not to like.
Well, of course, Jay. You'd comb his hair for him if he'd let you.
Is that a possibility? Is there an auction for
I
that?
don't know.
I don't know, Marvin. What do you think?
Man of 1,000 words. What do you think?
I think Jay would do it.
You think Jay would comb his hair if they let him?
Marvin's just along for the WrestleMania talk.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are really talking about now. I mean, WrestleMania is this weekend, so
That's tomorrow. Our
Marvin,
WrestleMania.
do you your hands?
Yeah.
There you go.
WrestleMania is this weekend. So
Yes,
everyone
Marvin.
stops and
That's
just
tomorrow. We do that.
Yeah,
Everything
we'll
stops.
talk WrestleMania tomorrow, Marvin. Let's
tomorrow.
calm it down.
That's all I've ever told me my
You can
entire
stick-
life.
You can stick around though.
Can I? Thanks.
He's along for the ride. It's a slippery slope.
They're in the same division.
Slow.
Obviously, they can hit him at another time.
Yeah, I just can't see that he made a lot of enemies in that clubhouse. So, is what it is. They knew why he flipped the bat. It was great.
It was great.
If
but
he gets plunked, he gets plunked. I guarantee, like Serge said, it's not going to be in the ear hole.
okay, here's the other thing. If you're the
Your vote on Facebook is 65-35. Yes.
yes, so Facebook.
Okay.
I always say Twitter's heartless, but
70,
that's
70,
not
70,
true.
72
Those moms on
votes.
Facebook.
72
are
votes.
Ruthless.
So yeah.
9 comments here.
Peterson Murphy, what are you on more, Facebook or Twitter? See, moms are ruthless. Not that you're a mom yet.
Here's the other one. If you're the guy on deck, do you say thanks a lot?
Yeah.
That's what you do, right? You say thanks. You go thanks a lot for that. You know, because if he doesn't wear one, yeah.
Right.
So now he'll get one later on. But yes, I love the bat flip though. Well,
Easter says more bat flips. I agree.
yeah.
Actually, I'm with these rays on that too.
I think there should be more exciting things like that. It's great for the sport. Like, look at us talking about it 2 days later.
It's funny. I don't know why everybody.
We're not talking
yeah.
about the distance on his home run, and it's what is it, like the second longest Phillies home run ever? I know they were showing a list up there, and
It'll end up being in history the 10th or 12th
sure,
because he's going to hit a lot more.
sure, but still, like, we're not even talking about how epic like the actual home run itself was. We're talking about his bat flip and his taking aim.
Well, it's like this. I mean,
'Cause it was fun.
think about this, Serge. Does the in football, does the opposing team get mad when you get to do your touchdown celebration?
Well, and then what have they done at the NFL? They used to be able to do touchdown celebrations. Then you couldn't. And then ratings dropped. So what did they do? They brought it back. And now, like, their teams are doing
choreographed.
Cupid shuffle.
They got to go to the Dancing with the
bowling
QC Stars just to get practice in to do that.
Whoa.
Duck, goose.
Terrell Owens gets on the star. He gets nailed.
Okay.
He took it.
That's
He took it a little far.
It's a little different.
He
For
took it
showboating on someone's turf.
That was way worse than showboating.
That's way worse than
This is
celebrating.
like Bryce Harper
If you're in
didn't
the
run
end
out.
zone celebrating your end zone celebration, he ran out to midfield and stood on the star.
Like, they didn't Turk Wendell it. They didn't run out to the pitcher's mound and
Lay
throw his
down
arms up in the air.
Lay down and take a look at everything. That's a good point.
Do a little Bernie on the pitcher's
By the
mound.
way, he did it once. He did it once, and they didn't retaliate. Everybody thought it was Bush.
Well, that's
and then Emmett went back and did it. And then when Terrell went to go do it the second time,
Right.
that's when George Teague nailed him.
Okay, but this is more of a question we should ask Pat. That if there is a showboating or whatever else, do they find a way?
Take him out.
Do they earn a receipt? Do they give them a receipt for if they
Yeah.
do something in the NFL?
Oh, I guarantee it, especially Pat, of all people.
I mean, do they talk about the huddle like, hey, next time,
Yeah.
give them a little
Next
little
time.
mustard on it. Don't
It's-
just
I
kiss
think
them
it's a
next
little-
time.
I think it's a little harder to do in football
Oh, absolutely it is.
without having
Flag and a fine.
flag, cheap shot, fine.
Yeah.
The danger level of plunking somebody as opposed to trying to rip their head off.
But that's it. I mean, that's the one instance in football where one guy, only one time in football, took it too far. You know what I mean? It never happened again because T.O. was
besides fighting.
right. There's
Right.
been fights, but
Right.
that's
Randy Moss moons the Green Bay Packer fans.
That
That
was
is
not-
a disgusting act.
that was hilarious, and anybody that knows what happens up in Green Bay knew exactly too. And all he did was make like he was mooning them. He didn't moon them. He didn't pull his pants
If
down.
anybody up in Green Bay, why do you say that he did it?
They moon the opposing team's butts every time it leaves.
All right, just wanted everyone to know that. Yeah.
I mean, it's knowledgeable fact.
I
I
know.
mean, and then he really didn't moon anybody. I'm like,
That is a disgusting act.
well, who said that?
OBJ.
Who
that
said
was Joe Buck.
Well, Joe Buck's a dumbass.
What about OBJ pisses on the ball because he?
Dumb but funny.
Okay.
Gross.
I mean,
Erickson says Baker Mayfield would never bat flip. He's out of his mind, right? Is he just? This is the guy who put a flag right in the middle of Ohio State,
speaking
right?
of somebody braiding someone's hair, Erickson would braid Baker Mayfield's pubic hair for him.
Hey, can you do me a favor and read a promo? And
Yeah,
then what we're gonna
let's talk about one more thing.
Yeah,
so we
sure,
don't,
sure.
you
No.
know, just-
But I'm going to switch this around. I want to call Kakert. I want to talk to him about what he knows about Fran and Arkansas. Fran McCaffrey going to Arkansas. So we're going to call him right after we do a break.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Buying a home can be overwhelming. Don't get discouraged by the process. From start to finish, you'll need the guidance of a professional. Let Jen Peterson Murphy with Remax Elite Homes use her extensive background in real estate to help you navigate the process. From lending qualifications and budgeting costs to recommended inspections, Jen Peterson Murphy can get you the most for your money in a competitive market. Jen Peterson Murphy specializes in residential real estate sales and assisting first-time home buyers. For expert advice including strategic marketing practices, CMAs or comprehensive market analysis, staging and home
Someone's
assessments,
paying attention.
think Jen Peterson Murphy of Remax Elite Homes.
All right, let's give old Tom a call here.
Stayed you on camera the
Too
entire
loud.
time.
Now you're on camera.
Wait, the volume level. Can you hear it?
Hello.
Whoa. Hello.
I can't hear it.
Kakert.
Hello.
Hey,
Yeah.
where are you at? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, we
I
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Good. Listen, I've got a lot of. How you been, by the way?
I've been good. I miss you guys.
I know we miss you too. We miss you. We miss you too.
Are
we
we,
just
are we gonna get to? Are we gonna see you Sunday?
Sunday WrestleMania. I don't think.
Oh, I
so.
suppose Jay got invited to some other private party.
I did. I don't think so because we have our thing going on at Pints. It's our 11-year. It's our 11-year party at Pints. So we'll have WrestleMania on up there.
All right.
Do you have any
We're gonna
quick?
gamble on it.
Oh, that sounds so much fun. Do you have any quick predictions of WrestleMania? Do you want to hold on to those so no one takes your bet?
I don't have any like interesting predictions. I haven't really thought about it too much.
Do you guys have bets already down? Like, do you have prop bets?
no,
like,
we're
how
gonna,
long- like how-
we're gonna put together some prop sheet and then like you'll get 1 point if you pick the correct winner. You'll get 2 points if the according to the betting odds, that person is the underdog and they win, and you pick them, you get 2.
All right.
And then you get like a 5-point bonus if somebody off the beaten path shows up.
All right. So the off the beaten path, you mean in a match, or because?
Yeah, comes in and does like a run-in, like Cena or Hogan or
I think Gronk.
you know,
Think
somebody
Gronk,
like that.
buddy. Think
Yeah,
Gronk.
Gronk. Yeah, Gronk. Somebody like that.
Do not pick Michael Che or Colin Yost in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
No.
And then
No.
I think the tiebreaker should be how long it takes Triple H to come down to the ring, the over/under on time.
Yeah, we were going to have a tiebreaker that was something like the length of the women's match or something like that. But Triple H timed to actually get to the ring from when his music starts to the ring might be the best one.
And then one more piece of advice I'm going to give you: take Seth Rollins. It's reported that Lesnar is going to fight in UFC in August. So he's going to.
There's nothing Vince would like better than to see that WWE
that's a
belt
good point.
in the
That's
ring.
a great point. Well, some bad guy's going to lose. Not all the baby faces can win at WrestleMania. So Tom, I've been getting texts and people on Twitter. What's this Arkansas stuff with Fran?
Well, I think I think it's kind of died out at this point. It just seems like it's kind of done. There's a press release today from the Big Ten Network that Fran's going to be up there at the Final Four in Minneapolis on Saturday at 3:00, and seems like it's kind of died out at that point. Fran's going to be there on the Big Ten Network. Why would he do that if he was taking the Arkansas job?
Did I see something on Twitter where like a plane went from Nevada to Minneapolis to Iowa City down to Arkansas?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That can't be true, right? No one would put them all three in a flight, would they?
Yeah,
they
would.
Okay.
If you're kind of an inexperienced athletic director who doesn't think about these things, then that's their the AD at Arkansas, and you got to realize that we're going to be looking at FlightAware. I've been doing this for a long time, and all of us do it whenever there's a coaching search, especially the school involved. Fans and everybody go on to FlightAware.com, and we just track planes coming out of, especially small airports like Springdale, Arkansas, or Iowa City Municipal, where it's pretty easy to track. Boy, a flight came from Springdale, Arkansas, which is the Fayetteville Airport, to Iowa City, Iowa. That's odd. Especially a plane, and you can check the history of the plane, and it's never done that before. So you just kind of connect dots. So Fran is denied that he spoke to them, and that's, take him at his word. And that's what he says. But the circumstantial evidence piled up that that something was going on. There was some sort of contact or attempt to contact by Arkansas.
What's the attraction for Fran, Tom? Even if let's say it happened, he's denying it. What's the attraction for him to go to Arkansas?
I think at the end of this year, or the last 2 years, really, I think Fran has kind of grown. He's 9 years in. He's never stayed at a place that long, really. The coaches get a little bit restless. If this was if he was going to move, this would be the time to do it, because Patrick McCaffrey starts next year in college, so you wouldn't have to uproot him to a different college program. You'd be leaving Iowa in good shape. A lot of guys coming back, so it's not like you're leaving the cupboard empty. And let's be honest, Fran, I think the most concerning thing that I've seen from all these rumors is the almost widespread, I would call it widespread ambivalence about whether Fran stayed or goes. Even his supporters are like, yeah, that's okay. He goes, fine, go ahead. And it wasn't like people were like, oh no, we can't lose Fran. And if I'm Fran, that's the biggest concern, and I think that he realizes that too. I think he's tired of a lot of the criticism that he feels is unfair that he's taken. I think he's tired of some of the social media stuff directed towards his players and his own sons that has occurred in the last 2 years. I think he's just tired of a lot of those things, and I think he frankly kind of feels underappreciated by Iowa fans for what he's accomplished at Iowa. So why not look around and see if you can get a different job that pays you as much or more money than you were making at Iowa?
Tom, do you feel he's underappreciated at Iowa?
I think he's got a case for that. I think he's probably more properly appreciated for what he's accomplished. I think people have short memories. They don't remember what it's like when Lick was running the program into the ground. They don't, and I don't think they appreciate how hard it is to win at Iowa when you're not doing it the right way. When you're not going to bend the rules and do things that might be NCAA violations.
I wonder too, Tom. Does he think that the quote unquote social media comments? He can't be so naive to think that doesn't happen in Arkansas as well. I mean, I think that's going to happen anywhere you go if you're a coach that has your own sons playing for you. I mean, that's just it's going to come with the territory, right?
It is. It's the world you live in, and I think he was two things I think have happened is one is this is his first big job. At Siena, you weren't going to attract a lot of attention. Greensboro, you weren't going to attract a lot of the media attention. You just weren't. And social media wasn't what it is now 9 years ago when you were in those places. So it's just different. It's different now, and it's a bigger stage. And at Iowa, you're in I think he's feeling that same kind of fishbowl-ish effect that Lute Olson felt back in the day without social media. But that's one of the things Lute always talked about, was just feeling like they were in a fishbowl and needed to get out of Iowa City because it's a smaller town and everybody's in your business. And I think he's just grown a little perturbed by it. I think that might be the right word. Just irritated by the lack of appreciation from some, and it may be a very vocal minority, but it's out there, and he's aware of it. His wife sees it, and they're very sensitive to the any criticism directed towards their family.
I get that, but I mean, Tom, at the same time, that fishbowl in Fayetteville isn't much different. It's the same size bowl, if you ask me.
Yeah, and Arkansas
has won a national title.
Yeah, well, okay. Arkansas has. I think Arkansas is even more pronounced in some ways because they have. To me, when I look at Arkansas, a friend of mine told me this yesterday, and it made a whole hell of a lot of sense. He said that Arkansas basketball is almost like Nebraska football or Tennessee football, where they kind of live off the glory of the past more than the results that they've actually attained in the last 20 years. And it's true. I mean, they haven't been to a Sweet 16 since 96, I think. Longer than Iowa, Arkansas. Yeah, they had that great run under Nolan Richardson with 40 Minutes of Hell and Scotty Thurman and Corliss Williamson and guys like that, and even going back to.
But weren't there some recruiting violations involved with Nolan back then?
Oh yeah. Nolan wasn't the cleanest guy in the world.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. I mean, Fran doesn't run that type of program.
No, he doesn't, and I just it just Arkansas seemed like an odd fit, but there had been kind of rumblings for about a month that Fran might at least. If he was going to poke around, he was going to poke around this spring and see if there was anything out there. It's, some people had said, well, they told me that if maybe Wake Forest or Boston College opened up, that he might take a look at those jobs, and they didn't open up. So, now we'll see if his name surfaces. I think Arkansas it just seemed like an odd fit to me. But then it was when it was Steve Alford involved with it.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to ask you.
My worlds collide, because no matter what Alford does, it's always going to wash up on an Iowa message board. So,
I was going to say, I thought I heard that Alford was going to be there for sure, but
yeah. So, I don't want to call Fran a liar because he knows what he does, but it just sure seems like they paid him a visit and talked to him about the job. Whether he wants to term that an interview or not, that's up to him. But it just seems like something went on with Arkansas, and I'm sure he's going to let us know about it in a very Fran McCaffrey-esque way the next time we get to meet with him.
So you said, like, even the people that are on his side are like, if he goes, he goes. What percentage, and Erickson asked this on the Vance Beach Pub and Grill Facebook comment line, what percentage do you think Iowa basketball fans overall want him to leave?
I don't know. I wouldn't say want him to leave.
Okay.
I would say they were okay with him
Yes.
leaving. They weren't gonna be like huddled up in a corner in a fetal position. Oh my God, what are we going to do for a basketball coach? But they were just, they're like, if he goes, all right, whatever.
They, you and Randazzo talked on the Hawkeye Report, and you guys can listen to the podcast. Go to iTunes or whatever you use for Android and look up the Hawkeye Report. Did you guys make a short list? Do you have a short list of anybody if he goes?
Yeah, of course we did.
Who's on your short list?
Dazzle loves that stuff. We did that yesterday afternoon on the phone, and then we did it for about 25 minutes in the podcast, so it was fun. I said the first phone call I would make of, like, realistic, available candidates or guys that I think might be interested. It's not like I was going, hey, you should go call John Calipari and see if he wants to come to Iowa.
Well, he's got a lifetime contract now.
I know. But I did bring up Bruce Pearl, but that's just because and put it to bed because it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But a potential candidate, I said Thad Matta.
Okay.
He's rumored to want to get into coaching. He's coached in the Big Ten. He's very successful. He's only 51 years old. People don't realize Thad Matta's 51. It's not like he's an old dude. He's a fairly young guy, and he's I think his back thing has gotten a little bit better, and there's no question he can coach really well coached teams. So that was my first call.
Okay, I like that pick.
Would he take the job? Don't know.
Well,
where's the call?
So what do you think he's going to? You don't think he's going to either get offered? You don't think he's going to take the job?
It just seems at this point. No, it could change tomorrow, and it could circle back around. But it just seems like it's kind of dying on the vine now. And it seems, the rumor today for Arkansas was that they're trying to make a run at Wichita State coach Greg Marshall. So
okay,
and then we'll have a bidding war between the Koch brothers and the Walton family who support Arkansas, and I think the Walmart people have more money than the Koch brothers. So that's my guess. So we'll see if they can pry him out of Wichita, but that's been pretty difficult to do.
Another question for you: did anybody give you a hug today?
No.
That doesn't seem right.
Yet.
It's National Hug a News Person Day.
I think my wife may have this morning.
Nice,
if I remember that, but I don't know that counts. I don't think my daughter hugged me when I dropped her off at school.
What?
Which makes me sad.
Yeah. Well, we're sending you a virtual hug here from the Bend in East Moline.
Hugging you right now.
Well,
hugging you so hard.
Right. Well, there's nothing like a hug from T-Roy.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
I'm a good hugger.
It's suffocating.
The T-Roy the Troy the Rapper thing. He did not do well.
He did not do well in the NCAA tournament on our ESPN.
He didn't do well on his own either.
Yeah. Neither did I.
He's as bad as at picking brackets as he is at rapping.
Hey, we all can't be Surge, okay?
Who do you got winning the tournament then?
Michigan State.
Michigan.
Boo.
I thought Sunday we saw the national title game when Michigan State and Duke played. I thought that's going to end up being the game that I think Michigan State might pound both opponents this weekend.
Wow.
And I hope so because I'm in a pool where I've got Michigan State, and it's like this points pool that they say it's for every game that one team is a point spread pool. So if your team with the points wins, you go on with that team. So I had Vermont in the first round, and I ended up with Michigan State eventually somehow, and it was pretty good. I'm happy about it.
That's great. So you guys are all packing up and going over to Randazzo's to watch WrestleMania. So Saturday. Saturday it's going to be the Final Four, WrestleMania on Sunday, and then the national championship on Monday, right?
Yeah. So we're all tired. We just got done working out, so it was a big WrestleMania talk with our Don Umland and myself and Randazzo. So we were trying to figure out our plans for WrestleMania.
All right. Well, we're saving all our preview and predictions till tomorrow when we're going to be to tomorrow's show. But Tom, I appreciate you taking out the time and talking to us. So
Anytime for you guys.
All right,
and
Cakes.
hopefully you guys get back rocking and rolling.
Yeah, we hope so
we
too.
hope so too.
We'll let you know, buddy.
Okay.
Thanks,
All
Tom.
right. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye. All right. Let's read one more, and then we'll talk a little bit about the AAF.
Yay.
Do you want the latest in TV and security technology but don't know where to start? Call Done Right TV and Security Solutions, your Dish premier local retailer, to get started today. They'll take the guesswork out of choosing the latest smart home technology with your budget in mind. Dish has been a leader in technology for years, and the Hopper Smart HD DVR interacts with your smart speaker to change channels, pause, and fast forward with just the sound of your voice. Sign up today and receive a Nest doorbell system free courtesy of Done Right. So call 866-84-RIGHT today. Let Done Right provide local professional installation with personal service that's trusted by thousands of business and homeowners across the Quad Cities. Restrictions apply. It requires an internet-connected Hopper. That's Done Right TV and Security, 866-84-RIGHT.
All right. So
Speaking of Done Right, Kelly's right over my shoulder here.
yeah,
Good-looking man, and he does a good job of taking care of you. So
does
please,
a great job.
if you need a TV and need security, get a hold of Done Right.
So the AAF.
Wah, wah, wah.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Why?
Because
They got hosed, man. Jay, you nailed this 100%.
They got hosed. I'm disappointed that they didn't finish the season.
But the reason they didn't finish the season now, and I know we've talked off
Yeah.
air.
Oh, yeah.
I want Jay to explain to everybody.
Sure.
Jay nailed this 100%.
So if we just
Foster,
go through
please.
we go through the timeline of everything, and this goes back to January and February of 2018. XFL announces at the end of January that they're going to start the XFL in 2020. 3 weeks later, Charlie Ebersol and CBS announces that they're going to start the Alliance of American Football, but they're going to start theirs exactly 3 weeks after or 1 week after the Super Bowl. I can't, it's
2 weeks, I think.
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks,
So,
something like that.
and everything looks like it's up and running okay. There's plenty of times that they say, listen, there's going to be, I think they had projected 5 times that they were going to flatline, meaning not in the red, not in the black, but flatline. And it was a business model that was supposed to not really be profitable for 5 years, and everybody was on board. Somewhere along the line, 2 investors went out. Second, third week in the season, they were worried. There was speculation that they weren't going to be able to make payroll. They went in and got a majority. Someone took over a majority ownership, put in $250 million.
And that person was
Tom Dundon,
Yep.
the owner of the Carolina Hurricanes. So he put in $250 million. And
To become
the majority owner.
majority owner of the AAF.
Yes. So last week he starts talking about how he he needs to have the NFL Players Association to give the okay to send practice squad players down, because that way they'll get more. It'll be more competitive, which it was competitive, and the league was good. It had a lot of things that were good. And the NFLPA was like, that's not what we're here to do. The NFL was there to work for them. They were there to find the next Kurt Warner. They were not there to develop one. They were there to find one. That's why they partnered with the AAF. He was not happy with the decision. He pulled the rest of his money out. He lost $70 million in it. But what he took was all the interest and everything to it. Basically, what he took was the rights to the in-game live gambling. All the analytics that they can do when they put a chip in someone's uniform, and they can figure out the way that the way their throwing angle, or the percentage that they're making, so you can do in-game live betting. So he took all of that with him. And oddly enough, yesterday, the NHL announced that starting next season, you're going to be able to do in-game live betting based on analytics on how a player is reacting or playing in a certain day, or how they're reacting to, the defense, whatnot, all kinds of things. In the end, Tom's a real dick. All right.
Well, in the end, there's a lawsuit coming, guys. I mean, he does somehow.
From who?
Well, from Ebersol and Polian, I believe. All right, two of the other principal owners who were co-founders. They're going to basically say this guy came in with ill intentions. He came in to basically rob us, which he did, and they're going to try to. They're going to try to assume. They're not going to say it's going to be successful. But Jay's absolutely right. This is what happened. This is what. And listen, the league was not the NFL. We never said it was.
Right.
But it was competitive, and it was fun to watch if you like football.
There's too much coming out now about this. Polian saying that the business model was never good. I'm a football guy. Charlie Ebersol didn't have a good business model. Charlie Ebersol's coming out saying, we rushed this product. We just wanted to come out ahead of our competitor, the XFL. If you listen to, obviously I covered a lot of this. I listened to a lot of stuff about Charlie Ebersol. He said this was on purpose, that he was going to underproduce, underpromise, and overproduce. They just didn't have the sponsorship for this, the corporate sponsorship. They didn't do what he was going to say. They didn't spread out on social media like they were supposed to. We all stared at each other weeks up into advance saying, like, where's the app? Why isn't there fantasy football involved here? I had to reach out to multiple media outlets.
What ruined our entire fantasy league.
Ruined our fantasy league, yeah. I had to reach out to multiple teams to get someone on the air, and I talked to the director of media of the AAF, who was like, yeah, I'll get back to you. Said, Wadley, Iowa's own guy, wouldn't return calls, not even to Kakert. The whole thing just, I don't know. It's
two good things I took out of this.
Okay.
One, I won my Survivor pool just in time.
Okay.
Two, all your Apollo's gear is now on sale.
Is it? Because then that shirt was sold out. And by the way, FanDuel has paid back $10,000 in future bets that the Apollos would win the league, because they are crowned the league champions.
7-1.
That's right. So they did pay out those future bets. Here's what I can say out of this. By just the...
Still real to me, damn it.
Yeah, there you go. Take it easy, man. So the thing is this. For just the average person, the average sports fan that looked at this, it really defines like kind of who you are, all right? How you look at it. Yes, I really do believe that, because there's two ways of looking at it. They took a shot.
This is where I'm waiting to get to.
They took a shot and failed, okay? And Charlie Ebersol said beforehand, and he didn't do a good job, I'm sorry, but he did say, if I fail, I'm in good company. My father, a billionaire, and the President of the United States, all right? And he failed. He did not do a good job, and we kind of saw this where we're like, something's not making sense here. But you can either be the person that supports something like this and says, good for you for taking a shot, and you can give an attaboy, or you can be the person that sits on their ass and just sits there and says, I told you so, and never takes a risk at anything in life. And that's the problem with social media. I told you so's are coming from people who sit around and would rather scroll through their phones or,
We'll just bitch about everything in general and be negative about it.
Just, the negativity about that, I totally understand. Or you can just kind of sit back and wait and see, I'm not really going to buy in until, I'll see if something happens. Am I excited about it? If it does work out, yeah. But you know what? It might not, so I'm not going to go all in on it yet, but I'm not going to bag on it. That's that's kind of my philosophy.
Well, already screwed up. I had season tickets on the table for next year.
Yeah, for the San Diego Fleet.
I was going to be living in San Diego during the spring.
Didn't you jump ship after week 1?
No.
Oh,
No, he stayed on now. He flirted with it. There's a flirting with it.
Well,
my point
Moose
is,
Johnson was running the show. I didn't know this.
I
Serge.
told the I told you so's are just for people that never take a risk, and good for them for trying something. I heard the XFL's buying some of the assets out there. The XFL's learning a lot. And then, so I still follow this through social media, and I'm talking about the people that are actually not just involved, but fans, or they run some type of social media for the
Did you
AAF.
see the goodbye from the young lady from the Stallions that
I
we had
did,
on air?
yes.
She had a very
Chantel?
heartfelt goodbye to the people of the AAF.
So right away, and here's my other thing to the people that are running, and we'll have a couple people that we've had on before. I'll reach out to Trevor and Dean as well. We have the people that did podcasts and did blogs, okay? They're treating this folding by Tom doing it. They're going out there on social media saying you should boycott anything that this guy owns. He's also involved in hotels. He's involved in Top Golf, this Tom Dundon. They're saying to boycott it, acting like this guy took away their bread and butter, their meal ticket for their family by folding it. These people, you took a shot and tried to create something, a blog or a podcast about the AAF to try to hitch onto something new. Why do I know? Because we did. And now you're acting like they folded on you, like they let you down.
Oh, those
Yes.
people?
Yes.
Thought, I could see like maybe the guys that the AAF hired on to be like beat reporters.
Absolutely. You know what? They all go out with their heads up and say I had a great experience and I wouldn't trade it for
And
anything.
every one of them I've seen does that.
Yes.
But
Every single one does that.
I
mean,
see. I can
They
see.
They stopped operations in the middle of practices and said, "We're done." They took all those VPs and everybody else and higher ups and said, "You're done. We're not paying you anything else. You got to find your own way home or whatever you're doing. We're folding up. You're any type of contract we signed, it's null and void. Everybody's done, but they all do it the high road. The social media saying, I can't believe this. I mean, there are some sites that went from, and I went back to them and said, like, well, I'd like to see what the XFL does with this. I said, well, Vince doesn't need sponsors. He doesn't need anyone to bail him out. He's already got sponsorships lined up. He's got major cities where he can also piggyback with WrestleMania. If you look at the stadiums he has, it's for any type of pay-per-view event. He can go there.
Right.
So now the XFL's buying the assets. And now some of these accounts are switching over to XFL.
Well, imagine that.
Yeah, and I'm not going to call anybody out, but I can see it. And some that if you go back to anything on Twitter that I'm on or Hassel that I went back and forth with some people saying it, you can see now that they're big XFL fans. In 2 days, they went from, well, whatever, we'll see what can happen, we'll see, to good for them.
All right. What are the XFL teams?
The
Let's go
XFL
off
teams?
book here, yeah.
Well, we know there's one in St. Louis.
All right, boo.
We know there's one in Dallas.
Yay.
The Dallas one, is that the one that Stoops is the general manager of?
Yeah, I think you're right. St. Louis, Dallas. What were the other ones?
There's obviously L.A. There's New York. San Francisco, Memphis. All right, there's
Memphis is in the XFL too?
okay. Just start over. Dallas, we've got that.
Yep.
Seattle.
Seattle.
Yep. The New York, New Jersey.
Okay.
Which, by the way, they kept the Hitman from the original XFL for that. Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Did we ever go through the team names for this?
No.
Oh, no, this is the old ones.
Jay Foster.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
That's all right.
I'm getting there. All right. Okay, sorry. We got Dallas, right?
Yep. Seattle,
Houston.
Dallas.
Yep. Houston.
Houston.
L.A.
L.A.
New York. You got that right?
Okay.
You got St. Louis, right?
St. Louis, yeah.
Tampa Bay
Tampa.
and Washington, D.C.
All right, so
The D.C. field
there
can
you go,
only hold...
Seattle.
There is Seattle, yeah. I just
No
skipped
San
it.
Francisco.
No San Fran.
So Seattle,
Yes.
St. Louis,
Yes.
Dallas,
Yes.
L.A.,
Yep.
New York, New Jersey,
Yep.
Washington.
Washington, D.C. Yep.
Yeah, D.C., sorry. Houston
Yep.
and Tampa.
That's right.
All right, what are the team names? Do we know?
Uh-uh.
Yeah. Oh no.
No.
The new ones, no.
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 Well, mine's easy. I'm just going to stay with Dallas.
I'm just saying.
You know what I
My
mean?
point about the
This
AAF
makes
is,
it easy for me.
I mean, of course, like I said, it's easy to say, I told you so, instead of attaboy. I say get
Hell,
attaboy,
fine pen.
but yeah, thank you. I didn't make it. I don't know why I said thank you.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah, you can keep it there. You can have it. I got
Just pick your
tons
nose
of them.
out.
Charlie Ebersol, like I said, it's one of those things that we just kind of saw it, and even when we talked to people that we pulled in, you remember the first time we had Trevor, he was very much like way over the top for it, and I was like, you can't be this excited about it. You're not getting a job, and now we're gonna have them on when we go back to studio. I've already reached out to them, and they said they come on. I'd like to hear their thoughts of it, but again, that and
Well, think of all these markets here compared to what we do know now with the AAF. These are way better markets.
yes, and like I said, the stadium, like the ones that are there, Dallas, he'll hold a pay-per-view there. Houston, he can't.
he's-
LA
he's done
definitely.
most of
Yeah,
them.
He's held pay-per-views at the House of Jerry, right?
I say most of those have held a WrestleMania. So I mean,
the only ones that won't will be the. But he'll do it in LA. But where they're playing at in Carson, California, only holds 27,000, and Washington D.C. only holds 20,000. But he'll do it in other places in there, piggyback it. And Globe Life Park in Arlington only holds 25,000. And yes, Bob Stoops is the head coach there. Jim Zorn is the head coach in Seattle. Mark Trussman, the head coach in Tampa Bay. And Pep Hamilton, the head coach in Washington, D.C. So I can't wait till we get to do the promo things that last longer than the AAF. That'll be our next game in studio.
We already ran through a few.
Yeah, we already came through. It's over or under things that lasted
I
longer.
think it's something really funny, but
I'll give you something in sport. What we're gonna do is we're gonna give you something in sports, and you get to say over under lasted longer than the AAF.
Oh, I thought we were talking about everything in life.
No, you can do that too. Yeah, you can throw a lot of other things in there.
That's
too.
what we did.
Yeah, we did do some of those
That's
as
what
well
I
too.
figured you guys did. That's why
Yeah.
you guys probably.
There are a few
There's
things.
probably a few funny things that were said. Imagine.
So what I'd like to do is I think we're gonna call it a day,
Okay.
and we're gonna leave what we have for tomorrow. Not only do we have WrestleMania tomorrow, we got a guest coming in, and then tomorrow we also get to do the over under in the NFL, and then buy or sell MLB season,
Yeah, tomorrow we'll be downtown
Front Street.
at Front Street in their offices, overlooking the river as well.
Yeah, and we'll find it because we know where it is. We'll be there. We'll be on at noon.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, Peterson Murphy.
no, thank you so much to the Murphys. Thank you so much to the Bend here, and the Hyatt.
Thanks to
guys,
Kelly and Sonny for coming to help us set up.
Absolutely. You guys have a hassle-free day. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for putting up with the studio stuff. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. You take
Keep
care.
hassling.